Hey everybody, it's Helix, and I'm playing Ghost Recon Wildlands with War Wookiee. We're set to the hardest difficulty, and we have the majority of the HUD turned off. This time around, we're taking on probably the hardest set of missions we've taken on so far. Everything culminates in us extracting a high-value target from his execution, but to get there, and to get that intelligence from him, we have to take a few steps leading up to it. The first step, the one we're on right now, is dressed mostly in plain clothes. We are infiltrating the city of Barvechos. The whole place is a hot zone. Think Mogadishu from Black Hawk Down. If we piss anybody off during the daytime like this, the entire city will swarm and come down crashing on top of us. It's a massive city, the biggest one we've come across yet. So we're very, very, very cautious around every corner, trying to make sure that we don't walk into any lines of fire. Also, trying not to engage any targets, because leaving a body behind on the sidewalk isn't something that we can just go and hide. So we don't want to attract any attention to ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and give a running commentary of this, just because it is one of the more dramatic missions we've had. Our goal here is to get embedded in the city overnight and get into gear for a nighttime raid. We are ambushing a truck. We'll take that truck full of money. We will be planting a tracker on it and then delivering it to the enemies at a small side base so that we can trace that truck to the money manager of these cartel members. Once we've done that, we're going to take a cartel car. Using that car, we're going to find out where this money manager is, infiltrate their compound using the car, and kidnap this HVT. He will have intelligence that will eventually lead us to the guy we're looking for. So it's a series of missions, and each one is progressively more difficult. This first one, kind of one we set up ourselves. This isn't actually a mission in the game, but infiltrating the city and getting to a target building for us to gear out for the nighttime and wait until night is critical. So to get started, here we go. We've got a guy already investigating us. It's immensely difficult to navigate this city without being spotted, and we're thinking we're gonna have to take him down here. But with patience, we'll notice that there are also guys outside the doorway, which you can see now patrolling. So we stay our trigger fingers. Thankfully, he doesn't need to go down, and we don't have to alert those guys. We have really poor visibility in here, so we're just gonna go ahead and extract via the back doors. Making our way across now, I'm nearly spotted by this guy. And so here we are again in a danger zone, and the streets are just getting hotter and hotter here. So thinking I want to move across the street as quickly as possible, I give it a quick peek, and boom, two more patrollers coming down the road. So we're in a bit of a pickle. War Wookiee's covering the back door, I'm watching the front door. We're totally locked down in this house right now, unable to move, and anybody coming through one of the doorways or across it will compromise us. With that patrol turning around, I get a little curious. It might be time to cross the road. Almost spotted this time. It's clear that we got someone's attention with that quick sprint. So War Wookiee's going to wait behind while I go ahead and scout out ahead. We're very close to the target building at this point. I check my map. We're going to the building with a bonus medal in it. Wookiee catches up to me, and we make our way there, but we have one final obstacle, probably the most serious yet. We've got a patroller over here who's wandering all over the place. We can't seem to pin down his patrol patterns. And as I consider moving around the edge here, I see a guy immediately. So we're kind of pinned here. We've got one direction we think we can go to get to the target building without fully extracting from this courtyard and going back around, which would just create more problems. So Wookiee's got the idea of hopping the fence here. Looking through the fence, I kind of see that we're roughly clear. They're looking away. I jump over. It's a squeeze though. Almost spotted. Wookiee's gonna wait again. Every time we attract heat like that, we just give it some time to cool off and let the patrollers grow bored with whatever they're looking at. At this point, it's been extremely tense already, and but we're feeling very alive, very awake. I make it to the target building. Wookiee's actually not too far behind. I'm going to go ahead and clear the target building just to make sure that there's nothing inside of it, and we'll wait here for the night. Okay, so in some more appropriate gear for the night, We shoot out some street lamps, set up some
prime.
C4, and get our ambush in place. The money truck is making its way down through town. I'm gonna get a position up in this house, get some rounds off to scare the civvies away and just get the collateral away from me. Meanwhile, Wookie's setting up on the other side of the street with a sniper rifle to monitor the convoy that's escorting this truck as it heads over. The plan is for me to det C4 right in front of the lead vehicle while Wookiee engages the rear vehicle with a grenade projectile, and then we will see what we can do about that main truck. Hopefully it'll stop in a position where I can get a shot on the driver before they get away. Both escorting Vic's down, the driver makes a run for it, so I'm frantically trying to find a way to get over this balcony. We've got to find cars and begin our pursuit. This only slightly worked.
Mierda, chingada madre. Hay un puntero de soldados gringos acá. ¡Pásenlo! Necesitamos espera. A partir de la madre con todo. Vamos a enseñarles quién.
Alright, now in hot pursuit, Wookiee and I have to stop this truck before it gets too close to the enemy base, and we fail this mission. He's basically making a beeline for the drop-off location. We need to intercept him, get the truck, and deliver it to that drop-off location, but with our tracker on it. There's the truck. I'm gonna move in and take it down.
Fucking hell!
Fuck!
Now, the reason we did this mission at night is because Barvechos, all of the cartel members were asleep during our raid, but as soon as we set that explosion off, the whole city went hot. So, with everything popping off in town and all those groups alerted to our presence, you can see one of them already jacked a civilian truck and drove after us. We had to drop him, and before anybody else catches up with us, we floor it and set off for the mission, the delivery part of this mission, before they catch up to us.
Son of a bitch!
You can see here, this is where he's got to deliver it. So he was pretty close to getting away from us. We're glad we stopped him when we did. Now here's the fun part. Wookiee has to get into town, or into this little compound here with the truck. He needs to drive it, acting casual, all the way to the back and park it, and then hide. I'm getting into position with the sniper rifle here. And this part of the series of missions was unexpectedly hard, I guess. We could not take out any of the enemies in the compound. They, except for one, and he was 50% of the time visible. Well, this one I could take out. But the rest of them could pretty much see each other all the time. And we count 4 in the compound. If any of them see a friendly corpse, they go into the alert mode, and we will fail. So we have to get Wookiee out of this compound without any of them being alerted or suspicious. It's not even like the alarm goes off and we fail. It's if they become alert to something amiss, we will fail the mission. So I'm on Overwatch here, primarily using my sniper rifle as a way to track Wookiee. So there he is. He's parked in the far back, and he's sweeping out front. We've got 3 immediate danger tangos for him. We've got 1 standing at the base of an alarm tower, and then we've got another 2 that like to patrol around. So he's camping out in the back, and his mission is his current strategy is he's going to loop his way around all these buildings, go through this kind of warehouse import-export area, and then slip out the front gate. I'm helping him track each of these targets. So we've got 1 patrolling back, we've got 1 standing there, and then we've got the buddy who's actually looking over. And so we can't take out number 2, who's now leaving. So Wookiee's going to take that chance, and he's going to drop the guy who's in the far back. Now, with both of them patrolling away from him, Wookiee, after this took like 15-20 minutes, Wookiee finally slips out the front. Now to the left, we have a cartel truck. That cartel truck is what we're going to be using to infiltrate the mining complex where the money manager is. So he's going to grab it, and we're going to exfiltrate and get ready for the next part of our mission. Once the sun comes up, we're going to track enemy movements within this facility and see what we can find. So after about a day's worth of monitoring these enemies and sniping some targets on top of the big silos and towers, just to make sure that we have no snipers overwatching our kidnapping job. We're finally ready to go. A storm is rolling in and the next night approaches, so here we have Wookie and I just scouting out finally the main gate. It's got a contingent of 3 guards, a patroller, and there is also a minigun trained on the road. We need to time this so that we drive past most of these guys as they're walking away from us. This vehicle will afford us a degree of camouflage or concealment. They'll think it's another cartel member driving it, but if anybody is able to see through the front windshield and see us, we'll be compromised. So we're going to go ahead and make our move, but once this guy crosses the road. Now this is definitely the hardest mission we've taken on so far. If these guys set an alarm off, the guy goes for a run. So here we're almost compromised. This guy is a little stunned. We're acting weird here. Wookie thinks fast, pops out the window, takes him out. We've got that cartel vehicle positioned in the way of the road, so any reinforcements coming up will be halted by that vehicle. We now have to raid the compound in a relatively timely manner and catch this guy. Again, if we alert anybody, the alarms go off, a bunch of snipers get into position. We've taken out a lot of them, but we're not sure how many more there are left. And the money man will make a run for it, and he has a proclivity for escaping, so we are very careful this time. Inside the building, I'm looking for him. He's got a big cowboy hat on, and he's got all these guys working finance and accounting on these computers, but none of them look to be the target. I'm guessing he'd be upstairs, but before I set anything off, I want to make sure that the first floor of this building is clear. Wookie is currently outside the building. He is making sure this parking lot is secure for our extract. We're going to take this guy and shove him in the trunk of a car and drive off. The moment I take that guy out, all these accountants in here are going to start panicking. So I'm moving around as quickly as I can, trying to find him, realize, okay, upstairs, that's probably it. Take out his escort, and he will immediately surrender. And at this point, things are starting to heat up. The panic in the compound is sending civilians running outside in a fret, and so that is alerting some of the guards outside. However, they don't know that they're immediately under attack just yet. They are sending individual guys out to try to find out what's going on. So Wookie's taking them down, he clears the parking lot for us, and we get ready for our extract.
I got it, I'll drive.
We've got him, now we just have to play it cool. We've got to find our way out of this compound. Because we blocked that main entrance, and probably because it's going to be full of guys coming up from the main gate to investigate, we end up taking a less convenient route, doing a controlled slide down this side hill outside the base. We've got to take this guy to a safe distance and interrogate him.
Coopere todo saldrá bien. Tell me where I can find Pulpo's boy Wagner or I start shooting off toes. You got some anger issues, way. But I'll tell you, Wagner was snatched off the street by Nidia's guys.
Alright, that triggered a timed mission. We now have to get down into this mining complex and exfiltrate this guy before his captors execute him. Because we're on a timer here, we start to get a little hasty, and we need to finish this as quickly as possible. All of our careful overwatch and everything kind of goes to the wind as we realize we just need to clear out this compound and get to this guy.
The pain will end when you tell me where Pulpo is. Así que canta, hijo de la chingada. Aquí están estos cabrones. ¡Mátenlos a todos! Puta, no los veo.
Boom, window shatters to my left as a guy takes me out. War Wookie immediately on the deal, takes him out, comes up and gets me. We're back in business here after a close call. But the area around the hostage is very hot. So we've got to be careful that we shoot these guys but don't actually accidentally take him out, and that we keep our aggression and our forward momentum so they don't take him out first. As long as we can keep them suppressed and covered, they won't be able to complete their execution.
Quédate quieto.
Thank you. But who are you?
For now, just know that we're the people keeping you alive. Let's move.
Now finally, after 2 days worth of mission objectives and planning, we're able to get this guy in the truck, and we have to do a hot extract. Everybody's alerted to our position, so we're going to deal with roadblocks. We've got vehicles in pursuit, rather, that are going to be on our tail as we're driving, and I'm frantically navigating with the map to get Wookiee
Can you
out of
at
here.
least tell me who the hell you are? I know you're not Santa Blanca.
Not your concern.
Did Sueño hire...
Enemy killed.
So that concludes the series of missions. They were incredibly difficult. We had to do a couple restarts there, but a lot of fun, and this gets us through the majority of the Barvechos sequence. We'll be back with the final.
And who was it that attacked you?
Men who work for Nidia Flores. It was nonsense. They suspect Pulpo of plotting against Nidia.
Will you excuse us for a moment?
Pulpo and Nitty have it in for each other, huh?
We need to use it to our advantage.
Make them both think they're stealing from each other.
Exactly. Just need to find ways to do that.
We'll get back out there, get some intel we can use to break that relationship.
Hey, who did you guys say you were again?
Pulpo's cousin, on his mother's side.